All right, episode 207 of The Walking Dead. Pretty much dead already. That's the title. I thought that was very entertaining, fast moving, uh, intense, no filler episode. I really liked it. It worked good as a mid season finale. I would like just to have the next new episode next week, but if they're going to keep ratcheting up the intensity like they did here, I'll be happy. This episode kind of made up for, I think, a lackluster first half of the season. It kind of, it was the payoff. This was your payoff for sitting through some of the duller moments. Because there was never a dull moment in this one. And you had Shane losing his fucking head, going crazy. I was watching it with my buddy and the co-host of Movie Dudes, who's a big Walking Dead fan in general. Like he reads the comics and stuff, and he kept saying, "Oh, I think I know what's gonna happen." And he was wrong. He said it went completely off the rails from the comics, which I think is good. I haven't read the comics, so I could totally be wrong. I like where it's going. I like the internal drama between the characters. And I know what happens in the comics, but I like having Shane. No, first of all, don't do spoilers, but I know one thing that happens in the comics. But I like having Shane around. I like that they're keeping him. I like that he didn't die here, and I like his character. Like, I'm sorry to say, I don't know if the show is trying to make you hate him or if everyone just naturally hates him, but it's not working for me. I don't hate him. I totally understand where he's coming from. I think a lot of times he's smarter than these people. And like Dale says to him, he's built for this world. He's responding to this world appropriately. Instead of believing in bullshit, he's facing reality and dealing with reality. They spent this whole 7 episode arc looking for this little girl, Sophia, and it was Shane that was the first among them to say, "Look, it's time to move on. She's probably dead." Um, and I think he was saying the right thing tonight. We gotta go in there. We gotta fucking kill all those things in the barn. I kept telling my buddy the whole episode, he's gonna fucking light up that barn, dude. He's gonna light that shit up. And sure enough, I thought the last 10 minutes of this episode were really fun, really intense, really well done. I just love when he comes back. I'm like, oh man, he's gonna go back with the guns, and then they're gonna come back with wrangling the zombies, and that's what happened. But he gives everyone the guns. He's like, fuck this. We're going into this barn. We're opening it up, and they fucking lit those zombies up. But it was cool. It had a nice touch. It had a nice twist at the end that I didn't see coming. I don't think my co-host Chris saw that coming. Um, they kill all the zombies, and then there's one more left that comes walking out, and it's of course Sophia, the little girl that they've been looking for all season, and they didn't right away shoot her, which despite me saying, "Oh, Shane's the smart one," I liked that touch to the end. Like it was harder for them to do it when it was one of their own, so then you could kind of see where Herschel's coming from. And I was the guy saying as the episode's going on, I'm like, or as this ending was happening, I'm like, I'm like, yeah, shoot them all. I'm like, now go fucking shoot Herschel in the head. My buddy's like, dude, it's his fucking farm. It's like, yeah, that's true, but there's new world, new rules, man. The guy's a fucking Herschel's a whack job, dude. But then you could kind of see where Herschel's coming from because when Sophia comes out, it's different for them. It wasn't so easy for them to kill her. And then they're giving reaction shots of Herschel, and you're like, oh, so that's what it's like for him. That's why he didn't want to do it. It's a very smart thing, I think, in this series to humanize the zombies the way they did here, because usually they're just fodder. They're a nuisance in the background in usual zombie flicks and stuff. And here they humanize them in a way where it's like, well, this was someone's kid. This was someone's wife, and they still care about them. They don't want to hurt them even though they're dead already. So it was cool. I really liked it. And then I also liked I thought, maybe Shane's gonna be the one to shoot it, but as soon as they showed like a shot of Rick's face, he's all determined looking. I was like, Rick's gonna walk over and do it, and he did. He walked over and shot them like a boss. So all around, that was really fun mid-season finale with a great like last 10 minutes. The rest of the episode was kind of a blur. It was all leading up to those like last 10 minutes. The tension building between the characters and the problem of the zombies in the barn and whether they could stay on the farm or not. And it looks like from the previews they're gonna be staying at the farm for a while. Although if I was Herschel, I would be like, get the fuck out, get the fuck out right now. You fucking people won't listen to me. But maybe Herschel will have a change of heart too and start to see, maybe what happened needed to happen. I know everyone's gonna hate on Shane, but I don't hate him. I think he's thinking. Well, sometimes he's thinking with the other head, but he's also thinking with this head too. He's not the most optimistic motherfucker, but it's not an optimistic world. It's nice to hold on to hope, but then look what that Shane was right. She was dead. So you gotta be smart. You gotta deal with fucking reality in this situation. Um, Another thing I noticed too is going on. It seems like everyone's fucking, which kind of makes sense. There's only a limited number of people around, so you're gonna be fucking. But I was like, man, did Sinead O'Connor want to fuck Daryl? Because that's the impression I got in the opening scene. And then he calls her a stupid bitch and runs off, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to fuck Sinead O'Connor, but I think what upset Daryl is that she had given up hope at that point, and she seemed like she just wanted to get fucked. And he was like, "You fucking bitch," But then he came back later. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Daryl's still my favorite character on the show. I just think, he's a badass with a heart of gold, and I really enjoy Shane, which is he's just like straight up badass and a loose cannon, and he creates. Think of what this season would be, or what the show would be so far without Shane in there, providing that internal drama between the characters. Because generally they all kind of get along, except for Shane, who sees things differently, and who his heart was broken, and I like like the difference between Shane and Rick. Like Rick is hopeful and optimistic, and he wants to hold on to these little rays of hope. And Shane's just completely embraced the reality that they're in, and you have the tension between, being idealistic and being pragmatic. I like the tension there. I think they set it up for a nice like second half of the season. I want to see him get off the farm eventually, but I think it looks like they're gonna be there for most of it. Something will happen where they have to move on, obviously, but I hope Shane sticks around. I hope the intensity keeps ratcheting up the way it did. Like I hope they can maintain the level of intensity that was in this episode for like the final 7, for the most part. I know you're gonna have a little bit of a slow one here or there, but and they could do it, man. Glenn Mazzara, he was a writer for The Shield. That's a show that always brought the intensity. That's what they need to do. That's what I hope they do. And if they do, then I'm back on board. I'm behind this show. I was expecting to fully come out of this episode saying, well, this season it's something to watch, but it's not even up there. Like, up until this episode, it wasn't really even up there with Sons of Anarchy to me, which I think is kind of like a second-rate type of Shield. It's like Sons of Anarchy is kind of like second-rate Shield mixed with, Sopranos or something. Just because it's like an organized crime thing, but way more plot-driven than The Sopranos. Anyways, not to go off on about Sons of Anarchy, I wasn't very impressed with Walking Dead season 2 until it's kind of paid off here. And this was a fun episode, fun ending. I love the twist with Sophia coming out of the barn at the end, and I like the tension they're starting to build up with Shane again. I think Shane's character makes the show better. Sorry, sue me. I know people hate him. I know people want him dead. I know people that are fans of the comic are like, why is he not dead already? But I like him there. I say keep him around as long as possible. And you know, I know what I've heard about The Walking Dead, the comics, is like they'll kill off any character that they want because they could always introduce new ones. It's a little different in a TV show where you're paying actors to do this, and it's just not as easy. I like the fact that they're prolonging most of the characters and keeping them around. And there's ones I don't want to see go, and Shane is among them. And another one is Daryl. If they kill off Daryl, who I know wasn't in the comics, at least that's what I've been told. If they killed off Daryl, I would be pissed. I'm like, this guy is fucking. He makes the show fun. The show's so grim and downbeat and shit. Like, you need people creating the tension, and you need like some fun characters like Daryl. Like Daryl's a fun character. Anyways, that's my thoughts. Slow start to the season. It got good here. There were some good moments in there, like in the earlier episodes. I hope they keep up what they did here in the second half when it comes back in February. But anyways, when it comes to TV discussion, you got two more episodes of Sons of Anarchy. It's basically the season finale split in two, and then I will not probably be talking any TV until Walking Dead comes back, and then Breaking Bad, which of course, and then hopefully Mad Men. It's gonna be a 2 year hiatus before you know it. So, yeah. So the TV discussion is kind of winding down here. We're getting to that point of the year, but at least this gives us something to look forward to in February, where it really isn't usually much. I might check out Justified and do reactions to those for people, but it's not gonna be live and in real time. It'll be me doing the reactions as I watch the DVDs. I forgot. There's something else I was gonna do reactions to, but I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. But anyways, this has gone on way, way too long already. I enjoyed it. Thumbs up. Fun mid-season finale. Give me more of this. Give me less of like, you know, the Cherokee fucking Rose type episodes, or whatever that one was. Anyways, thanks for watching. And of course, I'll be around to talk whatever else I'm seeing or doing. So, later, guys.